Donald Trump was in Phoenix, Arizona yesterday morning, in fact, speaking at the behest of, in coordination with, as a favor to, Charlie Kirk with Turning Point PAC. There's many different Turning Point USA organizations. That is one of them. I guess it's their campaign arm, as though the rest of them aren't also actively organized and campaigning for Donald Trump. And this event was held at a church, and that will become relevant later. But here is the information for that event that took place yesterday. This is on the Trump website. Chase the Vote, a town hall with special guest President Donald J. Trump, sponsored by Turning Point PAC and Turning Point Action. The event details, as you will see, Dream City Church at this address in Phoenix, Arizona, at a church. And I guess the overarching question I have here for this particular effort is, does it even matter anymore to MAGA world? Do facts at all matter? Or is the language of the Republican Party just wild lies, exaggeration, despicable hyperbole? Is this what we have to contend with for the foreseeable future? The answer, I believe, is yes. They've never really been moored to facts. Misinformation, disinformation, lies, propaganda has been the way of the conservative movement for years and years and years. It got really weird yesterday, though. There's only two elements that I'm going to talk about, or one particular topic that is all lies and subterfuge on the part of Donald Trump, and it is immigration. It's interesting that the party, and I'm going to get to the clip here, but it's interesting that the party that denies that there's an invasion taking place or has taken place in Ukraine at the hands of Russia acts as though America is being invaded, that this is the largest invasion we've ever faced. We've never faced an invasion as the United States of America. But this language is chosen on purpose because it is meant to whip up the base into a frothing, violent frenzy. Because if you're being told by people you love and respect and worship, in the case of Donald Trump, what do you do if you are being invaded? You fight back. When you start using military terms for domestic immigration issues, they talk about the people who are coming over the border as being young male, fighting-aged males. It's meant for one purpose. So first, let me get to the exaggeration, the idiocy, and that's Donald Trump talking about how these migrants are coming to the country. Most of these people are seeking asylum, and they're bringing their children who are taking the spots of other kids in school. So apparently if there's a migrant kid in school, ostensibly for a Trump mind, a young, white, innocent child is not going to be educated, which speaks to the weakness of the education system in America, but that's for another time. That's another topic. They're speaking languages no one has heard of. No one has heard of these languages. Again, it's Donald Trump generalizing to the population his lack of mental acuity and understanding of the world. Watch this ridiculous nonsense moment.
Even though they can't speak a word of English, they're taking the seats of people, and the instructor's talking English, and they have somebody speaking, in some cases, languages that we'd never even heard of. You know, there are a lot of languages that we don't have here. We have nobody that even speaks these languages. And they're sitting down in a school, taking a student's place that might be a hardworking, good student, a citizen, the child of citizens, and they're taking their place. Our country is going to hell, and we're going to stop it. We're going to stop it on November 5th.
Even in the statement, he contradicts himself. Speaking languages that we've never even heard of, you know, there are a lot of languages that we don't have here. It's two different things. Whether the language is spoken here widely in the United States doesn't mean we've never heard of the language. We have nobody that even speaks these languages. Our country is going to hell because kids in school speak a different language than English. We're going to hell. And they all cheer for this. They're all getting behind the lie that they all know is a lie. They know it to be untrue, and it doesn't matter. That's a problem. The more serious issue that I want to talk about is this next clip where he's talking about, one, denying the invasion of Ukraine while calling this an invasion, stoking the audience to a frenzy. Then they start chanting because he refuses to say the word bullshit in a church after he says the word, says, I don't want to say it in front of these beautiful children that are apparently in the front row in a church. And then the crowd begins to chant bullshit, bullshit, bullshit in a church. You know, the party that venerates and respects and promotes religion and family values. They're using what are commonly, societally known as curse words. I don't really get into all of that. It's kind of arbitrary what's one word or another, other than what we deem it to be. But to conservatives, that's not how they think. To conservatives, this is a sacred, holy space. And they're cursing and demonizing desperate people coming here to seek asylum. Watch this disgusting moment.
2 days ago, Joe Biden signed an executive order to officially declare his formal approval and support for the largest border invasion in the history of the world. So this has been the largest invasion in history. We are being invaded. This is not people coming in. These are people coming in totally unchecked, unvetted. They're pouring into our country. Far from closing the border, Joe Biden's order. This is his new order. So he's getting killed in the polls. People say that, look, this is really bad what's happening on the border. So they come up with something that's fake, just like everything else they do. It's all fake. The impeachments are fake. The court cases are a disgrace to our country. Everything is fake. So they come up with this order. I won't say it because I don't like using the word bullshit in front of these beautiful children. So I won't say it. I will not say it. But this thing allows millions of people. This allows millions of people into our country. Joe Biden's order is pro-invasion, pro-child trafficking, pro-women trafficking, pro-human trafficking, pro-drug dealers. And in all, it's really, they bring death and they bring destruction into our country. It's really pro-illegal immigration. It's great for illegal immigration.
Now, there's a few things in there that I've highlighted. I've got my my notes here. I've highlighted in red the items from this quote that I had to sit and transcribe, which is a nightmare when you're doing that for Donald Trump. But there's a few things I want to talk about. 2 days ago, Joe Biden signed an executive order to officially declare his formal approval of the largest border invasion in the history of the world. The history of the world. Something Donald Trump knows a great deal about. History. World history. So this has been the largest invasion in history. We are being invaded. Again, I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier. All of that remains true. This is meant for a strategic purpose, which is to convince untethered to reality individuals, violent-minded individuals who are capable of harming other people, to go out and stop the invasion. And how would you do that? How would you stop an invasion if not by force? Then he says, so they came up with something that's fake. Well, first of all, he's talking about Joe Biden's the executive order that just signed that is widely criticized, that I'm very disappointed in him about. It's really just taken a play out of Donald Trump's playbook as far as limits and, well, we got to shut it down if it's too much. We're not able to handle it. We're the United States of America. We're the richest most powerful nation on the planet, we can't handle some asylum seekers? So they come up with something that's fake, just like everything else they do. It's all fake. The impeachment is fake. Court cases are a disgrace to the country. Everything is fake. I hate to break it to you, Donald Trump and MAGA world, fucking morons. If everything is fake, then nothing is real. This is the same when he said a couple years ago, or 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, whatever it was, that what you're seeing with your eyes is not true. Don't believe it. It's Orwellian. And they gobble it up. They slurp it up from Donald Trump. And then he says, I won't say it because I don't like using the word bullshit in front of these beautiful children, so I won't say it. I will not say it, he screams as he says bullshit. And then the crowd joins in his stead, chanting bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And then, of course, this last one, and then we'll finish here. Joe Biden's order is pro-invasion, pro-child trafficking, pro-women trafficking, human trafficking, pro-drug dealer. And in all, it's really, they bring death and they bring destruction into the country. It's really pro-illegal immigration. It's great for illegal immigration. All lies, all exaggeration to be kind or fair and charitable, which is not needed to be extended to Donald Trump. And they're loving it. They are lapping it. I mean, it should become as no surprise that the daft audience who also venerates Charlie Kirk. I mean, look at the people they lift into positions of authority and respect. Donald Trump and the Zeppelin-headed twitchy freak, Charlie Kirk. Good for you, Republican Party. You're really choosing them. Good times. What do you think? I'd love to know. We can have a conversation in the comments. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you on this. Things are getting more tense, more dangerous by the day as this campaign gets closer to Election Day, and that is exactly the way Donald Trump wants it. We need to show up in force to the polls. If you appreciate what I do and you want to help support this work, click the join button below. For $2 a month, you can help me make these videos. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both of those are great ways to help support this work. And if you're around on social media, just hanging out, looking for somebody, I'm at Dollemore. Check that out. Anyway, I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine and take care of one another.